So Henry sent me over a little something something. I've had it for quite a while. I think it's finally time that I take it to that place where I do that thing that I do. Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. Welcome back to the range. Today we're down here taking a look at the Henry Long Ranger Express. Brand new for this year, 2022. This is Henry's latest addition to their popular line of Long Ranger lever action rifles. The Long Ranger Express is a compact lever action carbine with a lot of modern features. It is chambered for 5.56 NATO and 223 Remington ammunition. These are very popular cartridges in bolt actions and semi-autos. They're used for everything from plinking to hunting to self-defense. Of course, with the 5.56, it sees a lot of military use and other government agencies use it. This makes the ammunition very common, and the mass quantities produced helps keep the price of the ammunition reasonable when compared to other centerfire rifle cartridges. We don't see this chambering a lot in lever action rifles, simply because most lever actions are fed by a magazine tube, which would require loading the cartridges bullet tip to primer, and most 5.56 and 223 ammunition have very sharp tips on the bullets, so you can see why that might be a bad idea. Henry's Long Ranger series of rifles utilize detachable box magazines to get around this issue. See, the magazine release is this little circle right here. The magazine is very well made, has a steel body, and a 5-round capacity. 5 rounds is a relatively low capacity for a lever action rifle. I don't know if Henry plans on offering any kind of magazines with a more standard capacity in the future, but if they do, it would have to be more involved than just extending the current magazine. As you can see, the current magazine sits flush along the bottom of the receiver. But if it stuck out any at all, it would interfere with the forward travel of the lever when you're running the lever action. So we're probably stuck with the 5-round magazine. What you can do is you can load your magazine up, chamber around, decock the rifle, top your magazine back off. Then you're going to have a total capacity of 6 rounds. You'll just thumb cock the rifle on your first shot and then run the lever on subsequent shots. And 6 rounds is not totally unacceptable for a utility or hunting rifle. Of course, on a self-defense rifle, I definitely want more capacity than that. But on a hunting or, like I say, just a ranch rifle or utility rifle, 6 rounds is not totally unacceptable. And it is safe to carry with the hammer down on a live cartridge. Henry did build in a transfer bar safety on these little rifles. And I like the fact that they didn't put a manual safety on here. You know, that receiver looks nice and sleek and smooth. There's no buttons or levers to use as manual safeties. The most important safety is the one between your ears. If that one fails you, there's no amount of buttons or levers that's going to keep you safe from yourself. Manual safeties don't have a place on a rifle like this, in my opinion. It has a 16.5-inch free-floated blued steel barrel with a 1-in-9 twist. Now, I know some of you guys that shoot the heavier bullets would probably prefer a faster twist, but the 1-in-9 does cover a lot of middle ground bullet weights in this caliber, so I can see why Henry chose the 1-in-9 twist rate. It does have a threaded muzzle, so you can attach your favorite muzzle device. This one is threaded 5/8 24. I have heard that they're switching over to 1/2 28, which is more common for this caliber. I don't know if that's true or not, and if it is true, they may have already switched over. This is an early production model. I've had this for quite a while, and I'm just now getting around to getting it on video. Like I've told you guys time and time again, things move slow here at the buffalo range. But anyway, just something to watch for. This one is 5/8 24. If you get a newer one, it may be half 28, or it may still be 5/8 24. I did check the website today, and it still lists it as 5/8 24. So, you know, I don't know when or if they're changing that over, but I have heard that they are. The barrel doesn't have any sights on it. There's no iron sights on this carbine. They do give you a factory installed Picatinny rail so that you can add your optic of your choosing on that rail. It uses an aluminum alloy receiver with a black hard anodized finish. If we take a look in the ejection port, you can see that it uses a 6-lug rotary bolt. The little carbine uses a birch laminate stock. Very good looking stock in my opinion. I like it a lot. Has a good feel to it. Just suits this gun really well. Of course, opinions will vary on that, but I like it. Soft rubber recoil pad. Not that the 5.56 generates a lot of recoil, but it's always nice to have a comfortable pad on there. Comes with swivel studs. The little carbine is about 37 inches long in overall length. Length of pull is about 14 inches and weighs in at about 7 pounds. So now I need to go up and rummage through the gun room and see if I can find an optic to throw on here. I'm sure I can find something, even if I have to pull something off of another project and put it on here. And we'll sit down and shoot some groups with this thing. I've got some different ammo we can try through it and just see how well it shoots. I've heard good things about the accuracy of these. In fact, on Henry's website, it says the accuracy of a bolt action in a lever action. So we'll test that out and see what kind of groups I can get with it. Okay, so for you guys, it's only been a moment. For me, it's been about a week since that previous video clip. So let me show you what I found and put on this little carbine. I had this Crimson Trace 4-16 power by 50mm objective sitting there, not being used for anything. So I thought I'd throw it on here. Now, it's a bit much for this little carbine, and I'm not going to leave it on here, but I thought it would be good just to throw it on here and do some ammo tests with. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. This is a first focal plane target scope, Japanese made. It's a pretty good scope. So it should let me test the accuracy of this little carbine fairly well. It is hot out here today. I am soaked in sweat. 96.6 over here in the shade. Hotter than a tablespoon in a crack house out here. Set this over here. I'll show you some of the ammo that I've been shooting. Been shooting some of this old Perfecta stuff. This 223 55 grain FMJ. PMC bronze, which is a 223 55 grain FMJ boat tail. Some Federal 223 again, 55 grain FMJ. Some Hornady match. Now this is a 75 grain 5.56 NATO. The little carbine does not like this. Didn't like it at all. Got the biggest groups of any of this with this stuff. I think the 75 grain is just pushing what it can stabilize with that twist. Shot some of the Sierra 69 grain. It's a hollow point boat tail, and it says on the box 1 in 10 twist or faster. We're a little bit faster at 1 in 9, and it really liked this stuff. I got the best groups out of this stuff. Now it is a match ammo, whereas this 55 grain is not. I'd like to have a 55 grain match ammo to try in it, but the 69 grain stuff works pretty well. So this is the stuff I'm going to shoot today for you guys and show you how this rifle shoots. Now as far as the cycling and the action of the rifle goes, I haven't had a problem. Cycles all of it good. and groups fairly well with this stuff, horrible with this, and fairly well with this stuff. So hopefully I can get the camera set up. First I'll shoot a group down here. Is 60 yards to that backstop back there. I'll put a target down there on the backstop, and we'll shoot a 60-yard group from the bench, and then I'll go up and shoot a group at 100 yards prone. I wanted to shoot a group from the bench though, because of course I can shoot much better from the bench than I can prone, but I also wanted to get a 100-yard group in there for you guys. So here we go. Okay, so for you guys that don't know, my shooting backstop is exactly 60 yards from my bench back there where I'll be shooting. So I've got me a target set up here. I've got a 1-inch dot set up here, and it's about 1 yard from the backstop, so I'm shooting at 59 yards. I do have a downrange camera set up, so you guys will be able to see it on the screen as I'm shooting. So let's go shoot. I've got 5 rounds loaded into the magazine. Let's see how they print. This trigger pulls about 4.5 to 5 pounds on my Lyman scale, and it has 0 over travel. It almost kind of feels weird. There's no break to it. I'll try to show you that a little better here in a minute. The action feels really smooth. Last one. Man, I love that scope. Makes my job easy. So let's take the walk and go check it out. Alright, so I could tell through my scope that was going to be about a 1/2 inch. That's a 1-inch circle, so I'm not even going to get my tape measure out. You can see clearly that it is roughly a 1/2 inch group. So a little bit better than MOA at 59 yards. It's a pretty good little shooter. So I'm going to go up and stretch it out to 100 yards here across the back side of the range here, and I'll see how I can do from the prone position. So let's go see how that goes. So I wanted to show you guys this trigger on camera here if I can. The gun is cleared. You can see that geared drive on the bottom of that bolt. But anyway, back to the trigger here. if I go to pull this trigger, I'll just come to the back wall and I'll start adding pressure, and the trigger never actually breaks. The hammer just falls. I mean, it has almost zero over travel. Try that slow again. Add pressure. There's the back wall. Watch that trigger. I mean, you can't even feel it break. It's just like you're pressing, then the hammer falls, but you never even feel the trigger break. It's a little bit different. Just for comparison's sake, I'm going to show you the trigger break on my Henry Big Boy. This one is chambered in 327 Fed Mag, but this is more typical of a trigger, especially on a lever action. You'll see that when the hammer is released and falls, that the trigger moves rearward. That's over travel. Any travel of the trigger after the sear releases the hammer is called over travel. Look at that one more time. Very nice trigger, but that Long Ranger Express doesn't have any over travel, any that I can feel, and you should be able to see that here on the video. I've never seen a lever action before that didn't have any trigger over travel like that. It just it's not a bad thing. A lot of people go through a great deal of effort to remove any over travel. It's just different. It just has a different feel to it. Okay, so I'll be using the same target style that I was using at 59 yards. Got the camera set up here. I've got my 1-inch bullseye sticker on the cardboard. Still behind there. I am shooting into my backstop. You guys can't see it from here, but from the direction I'm shooting straight into my backstop. And there may be a little sunshade there with an old target to put some shade on my target. I've already shot several groups from 100 yards. And I was getting a lot of glare, so I think having the target shaded might help me out a little bit. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Alright, so ready to shoot 100 yards on video. I have shot a few groups already. They look pretty good. I do have a little bit of a wind crossing from left to right. That's more the angle from my back left across to the right front here. That does seem to mess with me a little bit on some of these shots, but I do have the potential, from what I have seen, to put them all on that little orange sticker. And this little scope is amazing. I say little scope, but this big scope is amazing. Here we go. looking through the scope, that looks pretty good. All right, so I didn't exactly keep them all on the sticker, the target, but again, that target is 1 inch, and you can see, looking at the group here, it is also about 1 inch. So that little lever action with factory loaded ammunition can definitely shoot MOA. That's pretty impressive. Here's one more look at these targets. This is the 59-yard target. And this is the 100-yard target. I didn't change my point of hold or make any adjustments to the scope between these two distances. Pretty much dead on at both distances. Alright, so I am impressed with this Long Ranger Express from Henry Repeating Arms. These are made over in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, at their plant over there. Like Henry always says, you know, made in USA or not made at all. So you got to respect that a little bit. Seems like a very well made lever action with a lot of modern materials. Got that aluminum alloy receiver and that laminate stock, threaded barrel, box magazine, detachable box magazine. I mean, it's just not that Henry's the first one to ever use a detachable box magazine on a lever action, but they put it together in a nice little package here. I guess my other complaint might be the expense. I don't know what these are going for in the store, but I saw on the website that the MSRP on these was over 1,200 bucks. So not an inexpensive carbine, but very well made, shoots very well. No real, you know, like I said, capacity and price would be, if I was gonna make some complaints, it would be capacity, and you always want stuff less expensive, right? So I don't know if you can really count that one or not. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me here at the range today. You'll see some more videos on this little carbine. I'm going to put a more something a little more suitable as an optic on here for what I'll be using it for, and I'll make some more videos with it. I might experiment with some different ammunition and stuff like that, or might just make some fun shooting videos. Sometimes I just like to just get the video camera out and do a little shooting and just not have to worry about, you know, remembering to cover everything or something, or stuff like that. So you'll see this in a few more videos, or at least a couple more. But I guess that's all I got today. Appreciate you guys for subscribing. It still just blows my mind how many of you guys have subscribed to this channel, so thank you very much. Remember, if anybody asks you to give up a little of your freedom for the greater good, that freedom is the greater good. And that's all I got, and I'll talk with y'all again soon.